Hey, I'm Sade Lee. I play for Pellissippi State, and you're watching the No Playbook podcast.
All right. Hey, thanks for checking out the show. It's the podcast where we talk with the outstanding athletes, coaches, and experts that help to make sports and fitness such an important part of life here in the Southeast. If it's your first time ever checking out this show, I've had a lot of great guests, pro athletes, college coaches and athletes, even some stellar high school athletes locally that have a really bright future in sports. But I got to be honest, one market that I've kind of not really tapped into quite yet is the community college athletics world. Pellissippi State is a community college just literally right down the road. I'm talking like a mile from where I sit right now in my office. This is their first ever season with athletics at Pellissippi. So we were very fortunate here at D1 to be a part of their whole experience. We've been training all of their sports teams this season. So one of those teams is the women's soccer team. It's some great news for them. The coach was named Community College Head Coach of the Year in the state of Tennessee, and one of their players was named Player of the Year. That's who I've got on the show today. Sade Lee. She played high school soccer at Oak Ridge and club soccer locally for FC Alliance, and then this past season with Pellissippi State, where she just absolutely killed it. Played great. Put up some big numbers. It's a great chat. We talk about this past season, what her experience has been like at D1 training, and we talk about what's next for her soccer-wise. I'll get to Sade right after this. Sit tight.
RecruitMe puts the recruiting process in your hands. Most student athletes wait for college coaches to discover them, but coaches are busy and don't always have the time to find them. RecruitMe allows you to build an online profile to share directly with college coaches and is designed to help you enter all of the information coaches want to see. Your stats, your highlight videos, your academic information, your social links, and more. Plus, our team is here to make sure that your profile stands out with personalized suggestions. With over 25,000 coaches in our database, our premium plan gives you access to D1, D2, D3, and NAIA coaches across the country, and more importantly, gives them access to you. Enter your schedule of games and tournaments to let coaches know when and where you're playing so they can come out and watch you shine. Then communicate with interested coaches via our chat feature. When it comes to recruiting, don't make coaches research you. Do the work for them. Get started today at the RecruitMe app, on the web, and in the app stores.
At D1 Training, what we do is in our name. Our D1 athletes become D1 athletes. Whether it's Los Angeles Angels pitcher Ben Joyce, high school soccer national MVP Brinley Murphy, or first-round NFL draft pick Cole Strange, we help all athletes reach their full potential. Five-star training system comes straight from D1 strength and conditioning programs, and D1 has trained over 2,000 professional athletes. Many of them started as young as 7 years old. Check out D1Training.com to learn more about their facilities in Hardin Valley and Sevierville, and coming very soon to Maryville and the Tri-Cities.
I guess, is your season over?
It is over. It ended on last Saturday, I believe. It's our last game. Yeah.
How far along did you make it in the up the ladder?
Well, so since we're like a first year program, we didn't get to really go into like playoffs or conference play. So we were in the conference. We could get ranked in the conference. We just couldn't go to like the conference like championship and stuff. So we did end third in conference, but we weren't like able to win it, if that makes sense.
It's crazy that that's a rule. I remember your Brock, your athletic director at the school, was telling us about that, and I just forgotten. But it's a weird rule. Do you understand why that is?
I have no idea. Yeah. I wish we could have, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a pretty big, I guess, exciting deal, getting to be a part of their first ever soccer team at Pellissippi State. Just talk about how this season went for you.
yeah. So Pellissippi has been amazing. I emailed Mariana in June, so very last minute. And I told her, I wanted to come, and she offered me and everything. And we started in August, and I don't think anyone really could have imagined how far we could have went. And we kind of came in as like the underdogs, like, oh, a new program, like this is going to be a breeze. And I think a lot of people on our team, including myself, kind of took that personally and was like, no, like first year program, like we're not keeping that name, you know what I mean? And I think we came out and really surprised a lot of people. And yeah, I'm really proud of, everything we've done.
Yeah. Is the competitive, I guess, nature of, so it's TCCA, so Tennessee Community College Association. Is that like competitiveness similar to what you experienced in high school at all?
Similar, but it's definitely more fast paced. I think anywhere you go at the college level, it's going to be, it's a lot more discipline, you really have to stick to it. And people in college are a lot bigger and faster. So, you have to be strong. So I would say college level is definitely better than high school level for sure.
And you went to Oak Ridge, right?
Oak Ridge, yes.
Okay. So for the longest time, uh, I know just this whole East Tennessee district has been known as the district of death, because it feels like the state champion comes out of this area so often in both men's and women's soccer.
Right, yeah. I remember I played Bearden all 4 years of high school, and it was never anything I looked forward to. So congrats to them, but they were definitely a hard team to play.
Absolutely. Well, you've got a lot of company there of folks that probably dreaded playing against them. So you specifically saw some great awards this season with Player of the Year, first team. What do those awards mean for you?
Honestly, it kind of surprised me. I think I played against a lot of really good girls, and I think it could have really went to a lot of people. So for me to get that, it was kind of like, wow, like my hard work really, like paid off this season, and it's amazing to get recognized for that, especially for our first year program. Pellissippi also got Coach of the Year and got the most honorable mentions and all TCAA. So I'm really proud of everyone. Yeah.
That's great. I'm curious, really quick, when we're talking about the conference and that competitiveness. Is there a rival that you see like developing for Pellissippi?
So I think Columbia State and Motlow are kind of like even with us. So we beat Columbia the first time. That was our big game. We won in the last 15 seconds. And then we played Motlow and we lost to them. So our games were kind of like back to back to back to back with them. We played Columbia, then Motlow, then Columbia again, then Motlow again, all within like the same 2 weeks. So it was kind of like it was a really hard week for us. And yeah, we beat Columbia for last 15 seconds of that game. Then we played Motlow, we lost to them. And then we played Columbia again, we lost to Columbia. And then we played Motlow again, we beat Motlow 1-0. So I think 1, 2, 3, Motlow, Columbia, and us are kind of up there for the number one spot. Next year is going to be really tough for them. So, yeah.
Excellent. Well, how did you end up at Pellissippi? You mentioned, like, I guess even in the summer you were still looking for that opportunity, but did you have other opportunities out of high school?
Yeah. So, out of high school, I actually went to Arizona Western, pretty far away, for my freshman year. And I left at the end of the spring from Arizona and I came home and I was kind of on the fence about a lot of things. I didn't really know what I was going to do next, maybe just be a student, play soccer again. I had a few options, but they just really weren't, calling to me. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I want to go to Pellissippi. And I feel like I'm a big believer in like everything happens for a reason. And, the season ended up really well for me. So I'm really happy I decided to go to Pellissippi.
Now, do you think that's something that you're going to parlay into any other soccer opportunities, or do you have like any other, pardon the pun, goals for yourself?
Yeah. So after this season ended, I decided I do want to stick with it. And me and Mariana are reaching out to some coaches. I kind of already have a couple interests, so that's really exciting. Hopefully, I'll take some visits in the spring. And yeah, I do plan on continuing though.
So, but are you just through your second year, I guess, of school? Okay,
Yeah, sophomore this year, yeah.
got it. How about like just forget sports? Just what is your like major in in school?
Yeah, so right now I'm doing physical therapy. So I want to be a physical therapist whenever I graduate, go to PT school. So yeah.
Excellent. So I did want to talk about your experience here at D1, but I guess while you're here, you get to see the TOC folks. Do you ever like pay attention to what they're doing and watch them and think, that's going to be me one day?
Yeah, I went to them a few times at the beginning of the season while we were kind of still establishing our own AT. And we actually had one of the ATs stay with us at Pellissippi, and he was super helpful. So yeah, that's just kind of my interest. That's kind of what I want to do when I'm older. So
Yeah. What about club soccer? Did you play for any of the teams around here?
I played for FC Alliance. I started off at ECNL, and then as the age groups kind of started forming, because we had juniors and seniors on the team, so we had a really, really big team. I also played on ECRL, so National League and Regional League. So that was super exciting.
What's the difference between ECNL and RL?
RL, it's pretty much the same thing, I would say. I think Regional League, you don't get to go to like nationals and stuff like that, obviously, but it's similar. We played like similar teams. Every single club that we played, they also had an RL. So whenever the ECNL team would come, they would bring their RL team, and then our RL team would play them. So
Got it. Now you're somebody that's here. I see your team at D1 all the time. I'd like to hear because it's been a cool experience for us getting to work with you guys. Of course, you're right down the road. But like what all do you do and what kind of um, progress have you seen this season working with the trainers at D1?
yeah, so we normally work with Josh. He's great. He's really good about like um changing our workloads. Like sometimes we might come in after a game and like we're super sore. Like we're like, Josh, maybe we just need like a foam rolling session, a stretching session, especially how if we have another game coming up. So he's really good about like changing our workouts, but most of the time we do weights, and he's really good about like watching our form and making sure like we do everything correctly. Yeah, just keeping us healthy, stronger, injury prevention. So yeah.
Yeah, that's such a big part of it. I guess that people don't really think about. There, with soccer, you think about I'm going to get some footwork practice in the yard, and I mean, there's so much that can go wrong once you actually hit the pitch full speed. That having a guy like Josh, can I can tell it's really really valuable. Do you have a favorite workout?
Um, I kind of like deadlifts. I would say that's my favorite.
There you go. How come? Just because you can get a lot of weight up?
Probably not the most weight, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like anything legs. I'm not really an arm person, but like squats, RDLs, deadlifts, I love doing those. Whenever he writes out on the board, I always get super excited. So,
Who's the strongest girl on the team?
oh, that's a great question. I would say probably Bella Altifer.
Okay. Now, real quick, if you don't find a place to move on to, like a higher up program, I guess, are you going to return? Do you have eligibility to return next season?
No,
No.
sadly I have to go, but hopefully I find somewhere I like.
Yeah, yeah. So, what about off the field, like not even sports related? Do you have any other kind of personal hobbies that you get into?
Hanging out with my friends. I mean, I guess the gym is kind of in the same kind of group, but I love going to the gym. I was in the gym like every day during the summer. So, but yeah, definitely hanging out with my friends. We don't get a lot of off time, so when we do,
Yeah.
It's
I don't know
yeah.
why I just thought about it because we just had daylight saving, I guess, ending or, but you're talking about Arizona Western. I was
Yeah.
just thinking about somebody just in another meeting pointed out that Arizona does not do daylight saving. They don't recognize it. Was that weird to get used to?
Uh, kind of, because like for half of the year when I was in Arizona, I was 2 hours behind my family. And then for the other half, I was 3 hours behind them. So sometimes when my mom would call me and be like, why aren't you up? And I'm like, Mom, it's like 5 in the morning. Like, what do you mean? You know what I mean? And then she's like, oh yeah, I forgot the time changed again. So yeah.
That's crazy. I bet that was a cool experience though, getting to get away from home and get out that far away.
Yeah, no, I loved it in Arizona. A lot of our team was actually international, so I was mixed with a lot of people we had girls from Japan, Ghana, Venezuela, Colombia. Um, so yeah, it was definitely a different environment, but I loved it.
Yeah. The
Mhm.
Ghanaian, I don't know if that's how you say it. The Ghana national team is always fun. I love to watch in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Just the way they play is always good. So, one thing I ask everybody on the podcast: share with me one unforgettable sports memory for you, and it can be either as a player or even as a spectator.
Hmm. That's a hard question. I'm gonna go with the one from this year just because I felt like this was just a really good day. But whenever we won in the last 15 seconds against Colombia, I think it was just such a hard fought game. It was 0-0 the whole game. They had plenty of chances. We had plenty of chances. And for whatever reason, like neither teams could not score. And yeah, the last 15 seconds, we got a goal. And that was actually crazy because Colombia was someone we were looking at the whole season, like prepping for, like, oh, we have to beat Colombia. And, they were coming out hard too. So I think that was probably one of the best moments. The bus ride home was
Mhm.
awesome. So
How
we
far
were
away is
really
Columbia
excited.
and that other school you said? Are they nearby?
Yeah, they're kind of close to each other. I think Marlow is in Tullahoma, Tennessee, and Columbia is in Columbia, but they're both about 2.5, 3 hours away.
Got it.
Mm.
Okay. Well, Sade Lee, best of luck. We're going to be following to see where you land next season. And I think some big things are in your future. Stay in touch, okay?
Well, thank you so much.